think that vintage is better? Hey Rex, there's this bloke who thinks vintage is better. I'll show him.
You really think vintage is better? I'll show you that modern is better.
Hello my fellow toy hobbyists, I have a discussion video for you guys if you're interested, and the question is, are vintage toys better or are modern toys better? And I believe vintage toys are better, so that's the end of this video. Thank you for watching. No, I'm just playing. The toy collecting world has changed quite a bit since I got involved, and I got involved years before eBay. I was going to garage sales, Toys R Us, just buying toys I liked. I was always trying to acquire toys I had when I was a kid, and every now and then I would buy some of the new stuff that was out. New stuff would include modern G.I. Joes, commemorative series Masters of the Universe, the 2000X Masters of the Universe, Star Wars, Transformers. But my thing has always been vintage G.I. Joes. I got more vintage G.I. Joes than anything in my collection. Back then, it was vintage that was heavily sought after, and even then you can still get vintage toys at a decent price. It seems today like you have these stores exclusives and they instantly skyrocket in price just because they're on such high demand. I was one that believed that the longer the toy ages, the more valuable it becomes. But of course, that's just my opinion. I recently had the opportunity to treat myself. I had a little bit of money left over. I had a seller offer me a vintage Scout Trooper and his bike, and another seller offered me a classified Cobra Viper, both at the same price. I ended up choosing vintage simply because that's where the value is. It's been around a long time. It stood the test of time. The classified Cobra Viper, it's cool and all, but those prices on eBay, that's ridiculous. Those are scalper prices, not value. I can understand maybe a convention exclusive, but a store exclusive, I'd rather wait, be patient, and hope it gets re-released. By the way, that Scout Trooper and that Scout bike I just showed you, I wanted a second one, so that was the second one I purchased. Just to carry on with our discussion, it seems like things are reversed now. New stuff is valuable. Vintage stuff is valuable, but some of this new stuff is just as valuable as the vintage stuff, and I don't understand that. For example, you have this $20 figure that comes out, and because it's on high demand or a store exclusive, it instantly jumps from $20 to $100, $150. I would rather, if I can't find it, I would rather use that money and buy something vintage like this Mass Switchblade, or just something that I know that is of value, like He-Man and Battle Cat or something like that. Which, speaking of Masters of the Universe, I do love the retro thing they're doing with their Masters of the Universe Origins, which I patiently waited for the Rise of Evil 2-pack. I saw it on eBay for ridiculous high prices, but in the end I waited and I actually found it at Target. I just couldn't see myself paying those scalper prices. Transformers is also doing a wonderful thing with their reissues of the G1 Transformers. Now, there is a lot of new cool stuff out there, whether it's a reissue or a modern take on a vintage figure or a vintage line. There's a lot of cool stuff out there. Then you have retooling, which makes the toy a whole lot better than what the vintage was. Because of the play value, it has more articulation, more play features. Now, in the end, it boils down to what you like, what you want. For me, my money's going to go to vintage. Now, I'll buy new stuff. As you can see, I have a lot of new stuff, but this is stuff I pay retail price for. Me personally, I don't want to pay secondary prices for a lot of this new stuff that's out, but that's just me. If I find it on the shelf or I'm able to order it online, that's as far as I go. But again, I want you to understand that I'm only speaking on my behalf, my opinion. We can choose to disagree on the subject at hand, and that's okay. If you can pay those secondary prices, hey, do it. It's your collection. But again, my question is that truly value, or are we just shelling out whatever just because we want the toy? In the end, it's all preference, and I prefer vintage. 70% of my collection is vintage, so in my humble opinion, to me vintage is better. But y'all let me know what y'all prefer in the comments. Thank you for watching.